Question: is the Club World Cup football's future or its biggest mistake yet? The Club World Cup is football's newest mega tournament. It's global, it's flashy, it's backed by a billion-dollar rollout. But there's one problem. It's the worst idea ever implemented in football. Or at least that's what Jurgen Klopp thinks. Some of the world's top managers are speaking out. Even league presidents are threatening to shut it down before it starts. So, what is the Club World Cup really? And why is the football world tearing itself apart over it? This is how FIFA's next big idea could ruin football. On paper, the FIFA Club World Cup actually sounds like a dream. I mean, who doesn't want the best clubs from every continent to have a global showdown? And every time a new world champion could be crowned, right? But let's be honest. Did anyone actually ask for this? Don't get me wrong. The Club World Cup has existed since the year 2000, but for most of its life, it's been a quiet December formality. 7 teams come together to play week in, week out. Then the Champions League winner shows up, plays 1 or 2 matches, lifts the trophy, and flies back home. No build-up, no problem for the top players, and really, outside of South America, barely anyone cared. So why change it? Well, the reality is that FIFA has always made the bulk of their money from the World Cup. As a matter of fact, they reportedly earned a $7.5 billion revenue for the Qatar World Cup in 2022. But, as you know, the real money comes from club football, and that has always been FIFA's real aim, to get a hold of how to make money from club football. Fast forward to 2025. FIFA decided to go all in. The new format of Club World Cup features 32 teams from around the world, all hauled together for a full month-long tournament. With it comes big broadcast deals and even bigger sponsorships, and a $1 billion payout for whoever wins, to make it feel like the World Cup of clubs. Naturally, that should be a dream for fans or players. More money, more games to be watched, right? But there's one problem. This isn't a tournament being slotted into a nice empty part of the football calendar. It's wedged right into the summer, right after the Champions League, right before preseason. So, for the players, there's no break or breather from the sport. Just more football, more travel, more money to be expended and made. And while FIFA calls it growth, coaches, players, and even fans are calling it what it really feels like: overkill. Because this isn't just adding another tournament. It's about doing something to the sport we all love and the people in it. And this is where it gets scary. The reality is, right now, the reaction to the new competition is, by a wide margin, negative, with some of the biggest voices in football speaking up against it. For example, just listen to what Jurgen Klopp said.
Jurgen Klopp said that the Club World Cup is the worst idea ever implemented in football.
Coming from Klopp, a manager who's won everything there is to win, you gotta understand he knows what he's saying, but he's not alone. La Liga president Javier Tebas was even more direct, stating, "I will do everything in my power to make sure the Club World Cup never takes place again." And then there's Pep Guardiola, who in his own mixed message had something to say. "We all work for someone. We are employees. If the owners want us to play, we play." Which, let's be honest, is code for, I don't like it either, but I don't have a choice. So you got Klopp calling it reckless, Tebas is calling for its death, and Pep quietly shaking his head. But here's the thing. When you've got elite managers, league presidents, and players all waving red flags, the question isn't, are they overreacting? It's, what do they know that we don't? Because underneath all the noise, all the outrage, there's a deeper reason this tournament even exists in the first place. And no, it's not about global growth or football legacy. Let's talk about what this is really about. Let us strip off everything. Let's get real. What is the new look Club World Cup really about? FIFA says the Club World Cup is about growing the game. But if you strip away the marketing fluff, it's about one thing really: money. For FIFA, the World Cup, the real one, is the biggest cash cow on the planet. But it only happens once every 4 years. So what do? They built a second one just with clubs. That's what this is. Another revenue stream. Another $1 billion product. Another chance to dominate the summer calendar with their name on the banner. And the result? A bloated tournament that adds more matches, more injuries, and more meaningless football to a calendar that's already bursting at the seams. But here's where things get weird. If this tournament is really about merit, about the best clubs in the world, then why is Inter Miami included? To quote this ESPN report by Dale Johnson, there were two ways to qualify. One, by winning a continental title like the UEFA Champions League, CONMEBOL, Libertadores, and so on in one of the 4 most recent seasons. If a club wins the title more than once in this period, the slot is passed to a team who qualifies from number 2, which is by having a high ranking of performance in the top-level continental tournament over the 4-year period. Each confederation has been given a set number of places based upon its strength. As such, EUFA has 12 slots, CONMEBOL 6, and there's 4 each for CONCACAF, Asia, and Africa, plus 1 for Oceania. So now back to our question. Why is Inter Miami in it? They didn't win the MLS Cup. They didn't qualify on merit. They didn't qualify on coefficient points. Yet, somehow, they're in. And not just in. They're featured in a group of, let's face it, less competition. Why? Well, the official reason is Miami finished as the club with the most points in Major League Soccer's MLS regular season, handing them a place at the Club World Cup instead of LA Galaxy, who won the MLS Cup, which is regarded as the biggest prize in the MLS. But we all know that it might have something to do with a little player named Messi, or even Beckham. But for FIFA, they get a major business deal with Apple, and FIFA's dream of expanding into the US market becomes closer. Call it what you want, but that's not competition. That's a commercial campaign. But there's still one final twist. While they're busy chasing revenue, locking in brand deals, and creating fantasy fixtures, they've completely forgotten the one thing football is actually built for. And that's what we're going to talk about next. Because this next one, it's not about players, or trophies, or business. It's about you. Let's make one thing clear. This tournament might be called the Club World Cup, but the only world it seems to forget is the one that watches. Because here's the reality. Football fans didn't ask for this. Nobody was begging for a second World Cup. No one was petitioning to see Real Madrid versus Al Hilal in July. And absolutely no one said, you know what would make this season better? 2 more high-stakes fixtures in America during preseason. But FIFA did it anyway. To be fair, there have been some pretty great games. The Inter Miami versus Palmeiras, Chelsea versus Benfica, Man City versus Al Hilal. The Brazilian teams are turning up. The Saudi teams are showing out. It's not been a total disaster. But for all the money spent and all the hype generated, the stadiums are half empty. Over 400,000 seats were unfilled during the opening round of the most recent Club World Cup. And on TV, let's just say viewership didn't exactly break records. People would rather use illegal websites than pay for an extra game. It's the same pattern over and over again. Big business makes big tournaments, but the fans don't buy it. Why? Because the magic of football doesn't come from money. It doesn't come from flashy logos or billion-dollar branding. It comes from meaning, from rivalries, from years of history. Worst of all, there have been over 7 game suspensions due to the unsteady weather in the host country, which definitely kills off the vibe. You can't just throw Real Madrid and Palmeiras into a group with Al Ahly and call it the World Cup. The fans don't feel it. In fact, half the world watching don't even have their teams in it. And that's the real problem. In a game built on emotion, identity, and legacy, FIFA is trying to manufacture meaning. But the truth is, you can't sell magic. You have to earn it. And right now, the Club World Cup feels more like an expensive preseason than football's next big thing. That's not to say the competition is a total disaster, because for the smaller, unseen continents, this is a rare opportunity, a chance to step onto the same pitch as their idols, a shot to prove they belong, and maybe, finally, earn the funding to grow their leagues. But let's be honest, all of that is coming at the expense of the one thing we truly love, the integrity of football. So now, the question is yours. What do you think? Is the Club World Cup the future of the game? Let us know in the comments below. And if you think this was crazy, wait until you find out an even bigger conspiracy from FIFA in the last World Cup. Click the video on your screen right now to find out.